According to TDWI, the Data Warehouse Institute, around 62% of the organizations are facing data governance challenges in the 2020s. It can be data cataloging, metadata management, or anything. In this video, we met Hitesh Mundra, who is a data architect and explains us about what is data governance and what are the different tools which we can use in the data governance area. Hope you enjoy this video, and I've put some blog descriptions in the comment section below, which helps you understand more about data governance. Thank you. Hello everybody, welcome back to one more video from DigiBikes today. Today we have Hitesh. Hitesh is a data governance expert, and I've known him recently for the last 2 weeks, and he's a great friend already, and great knowledge with whatever discussions I have with him. So rather than me introducing Hitesh, why don't I have Hitesh introduce himself? Hi Hitesh, how are you doing?
Hi, Raghav. First of all, many thanks for inviting me here in this interesting conversation. I'm really excited to tell you about me, but yeah, first of all, many thanks. So yeah, I'm Hitesh Mundra. I'm a data passionate IT consultant, carrying 7.5 years of experience building solutions in data warehousing, data marts, data lakes, and latest the data mesh or data hubs. So my role is a bit of data architect to play and manage the organization, the physical and the logical information of enterprise in our organization. And previously, I worked with the mainly consulting companies where we were having clients from retails, CRMs, and e-commerce, where we support our clients to building solutions so that they can have data analytics to reflect their business decisions on their day-to-day working model. Yeah.
How did you get into data governance then? So let me ask you this question. What is data governance and how did you get into data governance?
So data architect role is a mix of a role where a person who's a data architect, he's also having control over the logical model of your logical workflow and a fundamental of your organization's information structure. So then it's also data governance is also one of the part where I can say he has to play because he's working together with data stewards, and data steward it's somehow a small tiny portion of a data governance that controls the data quality. Plus that he has to work together with data owners, that who is the overall responsible for the data assets, or I can say the reusable global data set which can be used for the others as well. Yeah. So the data architect is having overall responsibility for the logical and the fundamental of overall information and the database logical architecture for the organization. So that's where I come into picture. So I started myself as a data engineer, but with the time, with the various roles, it leads me to the data governance as an also part of my day-to-day routine exercise. So the data governance is like a set of rules, or I would say a policies, a practices that that allow the company to manage that how the data is used, and who has the ownership of the data, how the data quality is performed, what are the set of rules that must be taken care before it is getting into the actual in your in actual business. Yeah. So there are a set of steps that governs which needs to be governed before we actually use it. That's called the data governance.
As you said, there are set of rules and policies which needs to be applied for data governance. So, to apply these rules and policies, are there any tools and technologies out there which we can use for data governance, or it comes as part of many other tools?
Yeah, the data governance is like it's not a one kind of a specific tool. It is a kind of a supporting tool with in a big data framework tools. Yeah, for example, talent. You can take over talent. Talent supports the data governance things as well. Yeah, you can take a Snowflake that is also having a big data governance principles and the projects itself. Yeah, and the, any framework or any tools that allows the data security, data integrity, usability, accessibility. These are ultimately supporting the data governance. So if you can go to specific, so Talent is a one of the data integration and governance tool that I can tell you,
So
which
the
is
way
open
you're
source and freeware.
correct. So I think like Talent, Snowflake, everybody have these inbuilt principles and rules embedded within them. So let's say
Hmm.
if we give an example, is it like my name is Raghav, and I am supposed to paid salary every 15 days, let's say, right? If something happens, if my salary is not paid, there is a data quality or a data governing policy which alerts the mechanism somewhere and tells, is that kind of a rules, these kind of, oh, my salary has not come, it's a rule which before I even know, there is somebody, a governing body, who checks that rule and tells, okay, this person is not got his salary, what is happening? Is that kind of a very good example?
Yeah, that's a really true. I think it's a kind of intermediate process which takes care the confidentiality of your information, and it restrict the number of person or entities that who's having the control over the data. It's not that you can make it public. It's data governance is giving you a best example of a public-private model, I would say. So it allow the person that who can control that who is allowed to access of what. Yeah, so security and a standard of compliance. We need some kind of compliance standard that not everything can have everyone, not everyone have can everything, so there are some set of rules.
So, and can it be like, and very good point. So, like, and can everybody not have everything? Is it also trying to say that, let's say there are two departments, Department A and Department B, and if somebody doesn't need to see Department A's data into Department B's data, that is also a little bit of data governance, or that is data security?
The data security is a part of data governance. It's a property or a feature of a data governance. So I would say, if you tell me about what is a data governance, then I would say there are some set of properties. If a framework follows these properties, then it is somehow like a data governance. For example, data security, data integrity, data accessibility, usability, yeah, compliances, and yeah, I think good data quality. So if you have these set of properties, then I think this framework will lead towards data governance.
Very good. I mean, I think we are having a very nice discussion. I was trying to write down some questions. So, if somebody needs to have a career options in data governance, so is it something like they start with data engineer and over a period of time they learn data governance, or they can directly jump into data governance? How do you really look at it?
Yeah, so I think the data governance is more matured, more matured level of expertise that comes and evolve with the time. From the beginning, it seems it's okay, but you can't feel it. It is not so easy to understand it until you don't understand the integration process. So data engineering is a part of beginning, where it's a kind of a beginning where you start with the integration of databases, data sources, or any other technology or anything which you integrate and bring it to your existing warehouse or data lake or where or marts or
Fair, fair.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you have this understanding, then it as a next step you go towards the data governance, and then probably you get become a data architect, where you have overall fundamental of fully logical model of your information system in your enterprise.
So start playing with data, then try to become a data engineer, and over a period of experience, start learning some external tools like this. So within this data governance, how next question into this is, how is data cataloging important in data governance? Is it just like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, go
So
ahead.
data catalog is like a showcase of your information system.
Correct.
Try to understand, for example, I just put an example. So when you have a big information system, or like you are having a retail chain, and you are having retail outlets in your market, and you are having all of your retail outlets information in your one system. So if you want somebody to get part of your retail output, then of course he would like to see that what catalog you have, what kind of product you are selling in your
Product
information
catalog, basically.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and that comes the data catalog. So it is allowing you to get a revenue from your information system, or you can say it is like a culture which you promote that others can also participate. to understand what you have, and they can work together with you.
So in a way, data catalog is like a product catalog, which tells me what are all the database or information systems what I have in my company, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
And
true.
so, okay, this particular thing, there is a governance happening because this should be data security. So a data governance person somehow uses data catalog to manage governance also.
Mm, yeah, you can say so. So if a person is having a role and rights to view your catalog, then you can say this person is governed by the by your company, because he's allowed to do so. So data governance is a process. It's not like a one time project or so that you learn and contribute. It is a set of practice that you need to make it every day. It is a part and parcel of your complete activity of your data management.
So we'll probably go to the a little bit of end of the session. We are trying to do an overview. Let's say if somebody wants to start learning data governance,
Mhm.
how can they start learning data governance? What is that one or two things what they need to follow?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, as a starting at the beginning, because the market is going towards more and more in the data insights, because there are like a billions of people are having a smartphone, so everyone is generating data and data. You see everywhere is e-commerce. We are so used to pick the things from Amazon, and so everywhere is data. And of course, in the market, the boom is really high from I think last 30 years. If you compare, today is like the biggest boom I would see. And if you want to have a data governance to make your career in that, then you must understand the concepts of fundamental. I would say start from the fundamental of a data architect as a reading beginner for beginners, and then it gives you the overall picture of how this organization is setting up. And of course, if you have some basic experience of integrations or like databases like SQL developer or so, that he can understand and reach it earlier than the beginner. Yeah, reach earlier than the absolute beginner.
SQL. If I come back, read SQL because that will help you understand the databases and structures like that. Then try to understand different architectures, because how is this architecture working, how is that architecture working, and based on that you know the how the data flow is happening, and you can start putting where can there be governance happening and how is the process working, and put the governance and rules and policies. Is that a
Yeah,
good way to understand?
yeah, SQL is just like a small part. I would say, this is a very simple theory. Start small and think big. Yeah. So the SQL is just a beginner to start to have an understanding of the data flow, and executing and how it is working on the databases. And then once you have the overall understanding of database, then you can understand the data governance, that which is on the top of the databases. It's a layer. It's a kind of layer which provides a framework.
So that's a very good point. So whatever small starts you can do, you start with that, and then if are there any open source tools where people can learn about this, or
Yeah, so the data governance tool, I think Talent is an open source and freeware, so you can have it. Yeah. So
yeah.
Talent is having a data quality, one of the small tool from the big project, big full data fabric
Of
tool.
all the different data tails. Yeah, I mean that's very good. I think thanks a lot for this discussion, Hitesh. It was a short, sweet discussion on what is data governance and how can we really use data cataloging, or what is data security, what are the important elements and rules and policies where we put in and understand in a bigger framework of data structures and data architectures. Um, so we'll come back. So thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in today. What we'll do is, if you have any questions to Hitesh or me about data governance, why don't you go and start putting those questions in the comments and hit that like and subscribe button. We'll come back to you with a better video next time. And tune in. We are also doing a video with Hitesh on data integration. So you will see that one too.